Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Peas, and today I'm going to talk about the film Send Help, which was released in 2026. At this time, I know absolutely nothing about this film. Zero, nada. I'm not even sure how this film slipped under my horror radar, but it was a friend of mine who started to tell me about the film, and I told them to shut their goddamn mouth. I didn't want to hear another word. I avoided trailers and reviews. In fact, I avoided so many, I couldn't even remember the name of the film when I was having a conversation with my brother about going to the cinema to watch the film. I'm going to the cinema tonight, I said. What are you going to watch? He said. Fuck knows, I said. Question mark, he said. The new Sam Raimi film, I said. Oh, Send Help. I have heard. Shut the fuck up, I said. I want to hear nothing of this film. I want to go in as fresh and innocent as a newborn baby who has just opened their eyes for the first time and have yet to suffer the nonsense of this once wonderful planet. Leave me now, brother. This conversation has come to an end. I will speak no more to you, I said. And that was the last time I spoke to my brother. Right, off I pop to the cinema then to see what this film's all about. Before I go though, I just want to say, whatever you're doing there with those eyebrows, it really suits you. It looks great, alright? How convincing was that I actually just went to the cinema and come back? What the actual f*** did I just watch?
I'm going to be frank with you. You are smart. I know that you are great with numbers, but I just don't think you got it. As an executive, I see no value in you.
2026's Send Help begins in a very accurate representation of a toxic, soul-destroying, modern corporate office, not a million miles away from where I work, to be honest. Rachel McAdams from Perfect Pie, but probably more well known to us from Wes Craven's fantastic thriller, Red Eye, and Raimi's not-so-great Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. She plays Linda Liddle, who has spent years quietly keeping the place going. She's competent, diligent, and pretty much invisible. The kind of employee whose work is absolutely essential, but is treated like a nobody and without any damn respect. When a long-promised promotion is handed instead to a friend of the guy running the place, Linda's world tilts. Bradley Preston, played by Dylan O'Brien from Maze Runner and Love and Monsters, is her new CEO, and he is a twat. He's the kind of charismatic disruptor who speaks in corporate buzzwords and believes sincerity is a weakness. He invites Linda on an international business trip, a gesture that feels equal parts opportunity, trap, and a PR stunt. Linda accepts, partly out of desperation and with a flicker of hope that she might finally be seen, and this will be her break. When disaster strikes midair, the chaos strips away those corporate masks. Linda's instincts kick in, and Bradley's confidence evaporates instantly. They wash up on the shore of a remote island. Two people who were barely functional together in a boardroom, now forced into a fight for survival. The film's tension comes from watching two completely opposite personalities try to navigate a situation that demands cooperation. It becomes a story about identity under pressure, the flimsy facade of corporate hierarchies, and the danger of assuming you know someone's limits. More than anything, it's a reminder that you should never underestimate the people you work with, because strength shows itself in ways you don't expect. Again, I ask, what the fuck was this film? As the credits rolled, I realized I was grinning like an absolute idiot. I can safely say I've never seen anything quite like Send Help. Sure, there's a few moments that echo other films, but we'll get to those later. The film opens with some of the most exquisitely awkward, cringe-inducing visual and physical comedy this side of Meet the Parents. Something About Mary or Bridesmaids. And if those aren't your thing, don't be put off. Just think of whatever comedy you do like that leans into painfully uncomfortable moments. Now, imagine this awkwardness and anus closing moments in an office full of the exact types you'd expect if you've ever worked in one. The tryhards, the fakers, the creeps, the egotists, and the NPCs. They're all present and accounted for, and they all make you want to reach through the screen and grab them by their stupid necks and give them a little squeeze and pop. I was not expecting full-on comedy, but there I was in the first act of the film, cringing and laughing my arse off at the chaos unfolding in front of me. Then the film pivots. The plane crash throws in some graphic gore and the terror you would get from an airborne disaster. Do you know, it's one of my worst fears, a plane crash, and whenever I am actually on a flight, which is many times a year, my brain likes to run through in graphic detail what it would be like. The plummeting, a wall of screams from people. I'd probably defecate. I'd grab onto the armrests, as we all do in extreme turbulence, as if this is going to miraculously cause the plane to gain the ability to fly again or take control. Then a slow death as the plane hits the sea and I left to freeze to death while being nibbled on by a crab or, a sea lion. Once the film moves on to the island, the tone fractures into a glorious buffet of genres and influences, all welded together skillfully. There's the slapstick energy and Three Stooges style physical comedy Raimi channeled in Evil Dead 2. There's the humiliation driven anxiety of Drag Me to Hell. There's a touch of Castaway and the easy comparison, yes, but unavoidable, as Linda, a woman obsessed with island-based survival TV shows and armed with a library's worth of prepper books, immediately sets about building a comfortable little paradise abode, complete with food that wouldn't look out of place in a Michelin-starred restaurant. There's a hint of misery too, as it becomes clear that despite Linda's impressive survival skills, she is absolutely the last person you'd actually want to be stranded with, especially if you happen to be someone that she's developed a slight obsession with, which began a few years earlier. I'd even suggest there's a sprinkle of the tension we see in The Lighthouse, in the way Linda and Bradley ricochet between loving and hating each other in this intimate and unconventionally claustrophobic setting. Are they friends now? Enemies? Something in between? The film keeps flipping the dynamic, and you're never quite sure how long each shift will last. We watch this relationship mutate in real time, and Linda's arc is a wild one. She starts off as someone we pity, and maybe even recognize similarities of our own personalities in for a moment, before the film slowly peels that sympathy and those similarities away. By the end, she's not just a survivor. She is a full-blown menace. A badass, yes, but also clearly dangerous. Bradley, meanwhile, I found to be uncanny in the worst way. His behavior is so exaggerated that while Linda is out there building shelters, creating sashimi, crafting rucksacks from twigs, whittling a wooden mug and basically becoming Steve from Minecraft, he somehow feels less believable, making odd, borderline unrealistic decisions. The film positions him purely as a bitter little vessel for our hatred, and he excels at that. And because this is a Sam Raimi film, yes, the man whose name for most of us immediately conjures up Evil Dead, you'd expect some gore, and it delivers. Who knew a wild boar could endure that much spear-related stabbings? Who knew it was so damn juicy with crimson? Who knew it could produce that much mucus? And who knew that said mucus was strangely drawn to the open mouths of screaming people? Sam Raimi knew, and as we watched the film and got to the end of it, we now knew too. We get our fair share of jump scares, an undead woman materializing out of nowhere, the classic loud noises, But Raimi wields them with such skillful expertise that they caught me off guard almost every time. This man knows timing. As I watched, I wasn't entirely sure I was enjoying myself. I felt as disorientated as the characters on the island, with no idea where the next scene would take me, never mind how the whole thing would eventually climax. I laughed, I frowned, I laughed again, and when the credits rolled, I looked at the rest of the cinema, and every one of the people there were grinning as hard as I was, but without the clown mask, of course. Linda isn't your stock, powerful, independent woman. She's a full-force, zero-tolerance powerhouse. She doesn't just reject cliches, she devours them, digests them hard before shitting them out. She starts the film already capable, but by the end she's evolved into something far beyond that. The scene, without spoiling too much, involving the removal of Bradley's masculinity is so brutally shocking. It felt like someone slammed the brakes on in my brain while it was doing 100 miles an hour. My laughter now becoming forced, slowly turning into real concern for Bradley. Annie Wilkes from Misery could take a few notes. Overall, this film is going to hit the spot for most horror fans. It's an entertaining little bastard, but make no mistake, while hugely entertaining for men, this one belongs to the ladies. It's a cinematic, sit down little boys, a well-earned kick in the collective male ego, and honestly, that's just fair enough. As a species, yes, we are a species, we have been assholes, and Linda doesn't just put us back in our box, she flicks us in the junk and castrates us on the way. My final rating for this truly unique horror, thriller, comedy, ball of stress is a solid 8 out of 10. Watch it! Let me know what you thought of the film, or share some recommendations, requests, or whatever you want in the comments below. As always, I'm forever grateful that you've spent this time with me. It means the world to this mask-wearing, middle-aged, horror fanatic fool. Peace be with you, always.
Peace the cloud.